Hi guys. So today we are back with one more organism, Chlamydia, who is nothing but friend of Rickettsia. Let's see why he became friend of Rickettsia. As similar to how we studied Rickettsia, let us divide entire topic into keywords. First is where does it live? Second is how it gets transmitted. Third point is a new point apart from Rickettsia, which is life cycle of Chlamydia. Fourth point is different species and subspecies of Chlamydia and disease they cause. Fifth point is diagnosis and treatment. So let's start with first point. First point is where does it live? Chlamydia is also obligate intracellular parasite like Rickettsia, but it lives in mucous membranes. We know that mucous membrane is lined by columnar epithelial cells. So Chlamydia is obligate intracellular, that is columnar epithelial cells of mucous membrane parasite. Whereas Rickettsia lives in vascular endothelial cells. Both Chlamydia and Rickettsia are called as energy parasites because these live within our cells and use ATP of our cells in replication. But why did we mention Chlamydia in particular is Rickettsia can again produce ATP, but Chlamydia only uses ATP, cannot produce ATP. Second point is transmission. Transmission is through contact of these serous fluids produced by this mucous membranes. Third additional point Chlamydia have is life cycle, because Chlamydia exists in two forms. One is elementary body, other is reticulate body. So let us assume these are two cells, one beside the other. From one cell, elementary body jumps to other cells. So this is how spread occurs. So elementary body helps in transmitting infection and it exists outside the cell. So it is extracellular. Whereas reticular body present inside the cell gets converted into elementary body. So it is intracellular and useful in replication. Because it gets transferred to elementary body, we call it as initial body. So why to remember this life cycle is, these bodies have different names. So we need to remember these names because we need to remember these bodies belong to Chlamydia. So let us remember like this. H for Halberster Provazek bodies. L for Levantine coli lily bodies. My for Miyagawa bodies. I'll explain them again later. Fourth point is different species of Chlamydia. We are familiar generally in ophthalm with Chlamydia trachomatis, which causes trachoma. But there are different sub-serotypes of Chlamydia trachomatis. So trachoma causing sub-serotypes are only A, B and C. And ophthalm bit we all know that trachoma is a preventable blindness. Next coming to sub-serotype D to K. This D to K causes genital chlamydiosis. Because baby gets delivered through genital tract, it causes inclusion conjunctivitis, ophthalmia neonatorum, infantile pneumonia in babies. So D2K causes genital and infantile chlamydia. Next coming to L1, L2, L3. These causes lymphogranuloma venerum, which famously called as bubo. To Chlamydia psittaci. Psittaci is a generic name for parrot. So let us assume parrot with lily. It causes atypical pneumonia. I will say the importance of lily in few minutes. Next coming to Chlamydia pneumoniae. Name itself indicates it causes atypical pneumonia. So let me summarize the table. Chlamydia trachomatis subserotype ABC causes trachoma, which is a preventable blindness. Next, subserotype D2K causes genital and infantile diseases in infants, inclusion conjunctivitis, ophthalmia neonatorum, and infantile pneumonia. This ABC and D2K subserotypes elementary body is called as HP body, Hall-Buster Prowazaki body, whereas L1, L2, L3 causes lymphogranuloma venerum. This L1, L2, L3's elementary body is called as Miyagawa body. Name has granuloma venerosum. So first MY indicates it is belongs to chlamydia. GW indicates it belongs to LGV, that is L1, L2, L3 subserotype. Next, coming to chlamydia psittaci, parrot with lily causes atypical pneumonia, and its elementary bodies are called as Leventhal coli, lily bodies. That is the importance of lily. Next is chlamydia pneumonia, TOR subserotype. It also causes atypical pneumonia. One thing I want to mention again is all diseases caused by chlamydia includes mucous membrane only, like conjunctiva and trachoma, mucous lining in genital organs, and then lung mucous membranes in pneumonia, etc. This chlamydia is also called as PLT agent, nothing but the diseases it causes, that is psittacosis, LGV and trachoma. Coming to diagnosis, for obligate intracellular parasites, because these can live only in cells, we cannot use non-living mediums like agars, broths, etc. So we do culture in cell containing mediums, that is yolk sac and cell lines. Different types of cell lines include McCoy cell lines, HeLa cell lines, etc. And other thing is serology, including ELISA PCR, direct fluorescence antibody test. Similar to rickettsia, DFA is best in diagnosis of chlamydia. Before going to treatment, few important points about lymphogranuloma venerum, which is caused by subserotype L1, L2, L3 of chlamydia trachomatis, famously called as bubo. Bubo is nothing but any enlarged inguinal lymph nodes are called as bubo. So bubo can also be caused by Haemophilus ducreyi, etc. In diagnosis of LGV, apart from culture and serology, we use two more tests. One is clinical test, which is called as Grue test. Grue test is nothing but, generally this lymphogranuloma venerum caused by chlamydia is confined to unilateral side. It may also involve femoral lymph nodes. So when both inguinal and femoral lymph nodes are involved, we know that in between the inguinal and femoral region there is a ligament called as Paupert's ligament, which is nothing but a part of inguinal ligament. So this appears as a groove because both swell. It appears as a groove in between, which is pathognomic for LGV. And one more is intradermal test, similar to our Montauk's test in TB, which is called as freeze test. Nothing but we inject antigen intradermally and wait for delayed hypersensitivity reaction, but we named it as freeze intradermal test. Next, one more name here is estheomin, which is a rare clinical sign in LGV, in which apart from inguinal and femoral lymph nodes, genital lymph nodes, that is scrotal and vulval lymph nodes, may also involve, then we called as estheomin. So here in treatment, drug of choice depends upon the disease. That is, for LGV we use doxycycline. If you want to generalize about doxycycline, Generally, for any STDs, both for patient and his or her partner, we generally give doxycycline as both treatment and prophylaxis. But we know that tetracyclines are contraindicated in pregnancy. So in pregnancy with LGV and also for children and for pneumonia, we use azithromycin as drug of choice. Thank you. Hope you like the video.